This is the 2015 A2B Galvani. These come in two different sizes. This one comes in 17 and 20-inch frames. Comes in a few different colors, black, white, and silver. A lot of the other A2B bikes are, $4,000, $5,000, and they've got really high-end components. And in this case, we've got the hydraulic Tektro Aruga disc brakes, we've got the fenders, we've got lights front and rear that run off the main battery pack. We've got a really unique battery design that's got this beautiful rail on top so you can still have a saddlebag or panniers on the side. A little bit thicker gauge tubing, but this nice blocker on the side. And I'm not sure if this is the case. At first I was like, oh, it's the triangle from A2B. That's sort of their logo. But I actually think if you put on a pannier and there's like the clip thing, that could hold right there. So really, really thoughtfully designed frame. And this is really solidly built. You've got these special welded on mounting points, but this is still screwed on. So technically you could tighten this if things started to rattle over time and just adjust it as needed. So this is a really solid feeling bike, although it is a little bit rear heavy. You'll notice that the battery, the motor are towards the back. They've done their best to keep the battery really close to the wheel, as low as possible, and the battery is removable. So say you want to put this on a car rack, hang it like that, you could take the battery pack off and reduce the weight. And this is about a 50-pound bike. So let me just explain the wheel size here a little bit. These wheels are 700 by 45C. They've got a beautiful reflective sidewall, sort of the hybrid tires that'll be decent for trails, but also efficient if you're riding around town. Got a quick release on the front and a 180 millimeter rotor versus the back, which has a 160 millimeter rotor. Keep that in mind if you're replacing those, just because they're different sizes. You want to make sure you get the right thing. Beautiful kickstand. I love that it has a kickstand and that it's just like really well integrated. It's not the center thing. It's kind of this rear with an adjustable step piece right here. So really well done. Wires run through the frame, as you can see there. They've got this nice fender package I mentioned earlier with the mudguards, full length, so you're not going to get quite as much splash up on your shoes and legs if you're going through a puddle. They've also got a really sleek, elegant chain guard on top, and this aluminum alloy chain guide that's also a bash guard. So if you hit rocks or something, it's not going to chip the teeth on your front chain ring. To change gears, you use this rapid fire 8-speed trigger shifter up front. Shimano Alivio back here. 8 speeds is great for getting around town, doing a little bit of hill climbing, that sort of thing. This has 5 levels of pedal assist, and it uses a TMM4 strain sensor or torque sensor right there. That's what this metal plate is, and that's one of the higher end, more responsive torque sensors. I've noticed that I didn't have to overexert myself to get it to respond, but as soon as I lighten up, the motor cuts out, and that's great. And actually, I think I said 5 levels of assist. I think I meant 3. Yeah, 3 levels of assist. The third level is pretty powerful, considering that this is a 350-watt gearless direct drive motor. Doesn't offer regenerative braking or anything like that, but it is smooth, it is relatively quiet. It's also a little bit larger than maybe a geared motor would be, but it's going to be probably more durable over time because there really aren't any moving parts. You will get some cogging, so which means if you're coasting and you're not using the throttle, there's a little bit of repelling action going with the stators inside the motor up against the permanent rare earth magnets inside, and that's just with all direct drive motors, which most of the A2B bikes use. And again, I think it's meant to be quality, enduring type of stuff. So that goes back to these hydraulic brakes, right? These are just really solid, and they actually have a cutout switch, so when you activate them, not only are they pulling on the brake, but they're cutting out power to the motor. That's important in case you forget and you're pedaling and you're braking at the same time. So they've got really high-end stuff. Speaking of that, check out these ergon grips. Got a locker at the end, really large. This is like name brand stuff, and it adds that nice extra little touch to the bike and quality feel. The new display is pretty cool too. Look at this. It sort of slides. You can kind of go back and forth to reduce the glare. This one's a little bit tight, but on the other one I was able to kind of angle it. And that's nice on a sunny day like today, where maybe it's reflecting in your eyes. So we've got the speedometer up here, battery capacity with a percentage indicator. So this says 92%. We've got the lights, and we've got pedal assist level and trip distance. You can go all the way down to pedal assist level 0 and use this just like a regular bike. And the display will basically tell you how fast you're going and basic bike readout stuff. And as soon as you press this breakout button here, +1, you get nice, smooth, gentle pedal assist. And of course, all the way up to 3. And that's where I'm going to start when I do the ride test, just to give you some idea of what it sounds like. So I think I mentioned there's a nice suspension shock up here with lockout. There's the front light. It's great that they're running both of those off of the main battery pack. And just overall, really clean aesthetic, and double supports on the fenders. You know, you shouldn't have a lot of rattling going on. This is a really smooth, sophisticated bike for $2,300. Okay, I think I'm gonna hop on and give it a go. Again, they do have the Ferber, which is a little easier to kind of step over. This one I'm gonna have to swing my foot over like that, but the frame is on this one's gonna be a little bit stiffer, which is nice. So here we go. Really instantaneous power delivery, and then it takes a couple seconds to cut out. So keep in mind the brake activation there. If the motor's still going and you need to stop, just tap the brakes and it'll cut out almost immediately. Overall, excellent bike. That's the Galvani for 2015. For more info on this bike, including the full ride-up, I'll see you back at electricbikereview.com.